Hi everyone, and welcome back to 1119. I'm your host Candace, and today we're going to be talking about self-care, but with a little bit of a twist. We are going to be adding in self-care and astrology together. So sit back, relax as we talk about how you can start incorporating self-care through astrology, or how you can start to look at your natal chart right now and start implementing self-care into your routine. In our last video, we talked about the difference between self-care and self-love, and I'll make sure to put the video up right here, so if you can click on it right now. But if you did watch our last video, I basically was saying that self-care is a form of different activities that relates to self-love. So when we talk about introducing astrology into self-care, now this becomes a little bit more fun with a little bit of a twist so that you can really start to incorporate more customizable ways for you to get in touch with your self-care activities. So just to give you a little brief synopsis, in my opinion, astrology is just another tool, just like tarot. Because of this, it allows us to really create a more intricate and more customizable way for us to look into self-care. And the self-care activities are going to be more aligned to your life path or the things that you are desiring to do. So now let's actually dive into the 7 planets that I believe have a very deep kind of hold on you when it comes to understanding or trying to implement self-care into your journey. Now, these are 7 planets that I personally have looked into. These are things that I've allowed myself to really understand and research and let it marinate and compare to what I'm learning in the books to how I actually am as an individual. So because of that, I allowed myself to really have a more broader aspect of how each of these different planets can help me grow, and also how to implement more self-care into my daily routine. So first up, let's talk about the sun. The sun represents our self-value as well as our vitality. It's basically like our core self, like who we are at its best when we are shining the brightest. This is the energy that we emanate. And because of this, you should really try focusing on self-care activities that really focus, that really align to that energy. Creative hobbies is a great one, and also doing activities in the sun is really going to benefit you as well. For example, if your sun is in Leo, holy crap, Batman, you got a lot of freaking energy built up in you already. Leo is ruled by the sun, and this again is just a lot of more masculine energy, a lot of power, a lot of standing in front, a lot of creativity. This can really implement into you doing more creative activities that will allow you to kind of be in the spotlight. The second planet is my favorite, which is the moon. The moon basically governs our emotions to its fullest. It is the soul. It is the thing that makes us feel secure. So really engaging in homey things, mothery things, feminine things that are related to your moon sign is going to help you really implement or really radiate that emotional self within you. It's also going to help you get clarity too about how you feel emotionally and how those things are going to help you build or not, or grow or challenge or try to attract more things into your life just based off on your emotions alone. So to give you an example, I am a Libra moon, and so for me, I love things that are aesthetically pleasing. I love doing self-care, I love doing reading, I like going on walks, I like being in nature, I like having general conversations with individuals that are really challenging me. Just to give you an example, if your moon sign is in Cancer, holy Toledo, you got a lot of feminine energy within you because Cancer's ruled by the moon. Really taking care of your home, really making sure that your own vessel feels at home, tending to your own needs, because Cancers have a tendency to be that mother figure, so they subside their own emotions to help please other people. So those are 2 examples of different moon energies that you can implement and start activity-wise within today that you can start just based off your moon. The third planet is Venus, and so Venus obviously is the planet of love, romance, beauty, pleasure, things in that nature. With your Venus sign, I would encourage you to dress up as your Venus sign, play around, be more indulgent, more free, more sexual, more sensual with who you are. You can really allow yourself to develop a more sensual and more attractive, a more enjoying, pampering, loving, girly things, you know what I'm saying? So just to give you an example, if your Venus is in Taurus, right, you really indulge in seeing self practices that would help you enjoy more food, having a good night of concert, like maybe it's the orchestra, the opera, maybe you just like having a very good fun time. And so really enjoying those pleasures that Taurus really does need and love and thrive to have is going to help build your own Venus energy, that self-love. Again, those activities are help building that self-love energy within you. Now, Mars may not be the planet that you thought I was going to say, but yes, Mars is one of the beautiful planets that you can look into to help aid into more self-care self-care activities for yourself. Mars is a planet of action. It is a planet of physical activity, drive, ambition, right? Doing it, going with it, expressing yourself in that way. So one of the best ways that you can incorporate self-care is releasing the said energy. This could be related to exercising, dancing, even some form of sports. Say, for instance, your Mars is in Aries. You need action, you need doing, you need adventurous activities, you need things that are going to be go. Or you may need to do the opposite. You may need to go to places where you're being destructive, being a little more reckless, something where you can be a little chaotic that will help you express yourself in a way that's healthy and not damaging or harmful to other people. Next, we got Mercury. Now, Mercury is a beautiful planet. It is a very finicky planet, meaning that your words do cast spells. The things that you think can get you in harm. And a lot of the ways that I like to think about Mercury is that Mercury does govern communication, yes, but it is also the planet that helps you learn. Okay. And it's also intertwined with your mind. Different activities that can focus your mind activity and just having a better healing way of thinking about yourself, right? Some of those activities can be the form of reading books. They can be in the form of learning a new skill, not to mention having more meaningful conversations, journaling, listening to podcasts that are going to help develop a more stronger self for you. So let's just say you have Mercury and Gemini. That's a double whammy because Gemini is ruled by Mercury. You would like to have stimulating activities. This could also just engaging in therapy as well. You going to therapy is helping you understand a little bit more about your mind and how your mechanics are, and how you can actually implement that into your daily practices as well. So it just kind of blends into all different areas when you start thinking about your mind and the different activities that you can do to help heal that. Now, this next one is probably one of my favorites just because it's about expansion. So Jupiter is the planet of growth. It is the planet of expansion. It is the planet of optimism as well. This planet is a great way for you to be a little doolulu about what you want to manifest and to allow yourself to think about what it would take for you to get there in regards to this new expansion. So the different types of activities that you can do in regards to your personal growth is watching different types of horizons. You can travel, you can get more education, and also develop more spiritual practices for you to kind of get that inner knowledge and growth, or to connect spiritually about your next destination or what should be good for you moving forward. And if your Jupiter is in Sagittarius, well, again, this is like a double whammy because Jupiter is ruled by Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is the energy of freedom, of travel. When I think of Sagittarius energy, it's very page of tarot. It's very fresh. It's very new. It's like you're looking for new ways to express yourself and new experiences, but these new experiences are only coming because of what you just learned in the past. So you have this more greater understanding of your well-being and where you want to go and how you want to do it, but in this sense of like freedom. Like, I don't want to constrain how I get there. I just want to go with the flow on how I get there. You know what I mean? So it's a beautiful, great way to trust the flow of what you're doing just by feeling that inner pull of that expansion that you're trying to develop or manifest into your reality. The last planet is the planet that a lot of people don't like. And I understand, because this planet is pretty harsh. It is pretty intense, meaning that a lot of people only start their healing journey because this planet comes in, because this planet pushes them to understand their challenges and their faults and how to be more disciplined and allow more structure into the life, especially if they hadn't had it in the past like 20 plus years. So the planet I'm talking about is Saturn. I like to think about Saturn is the college that you go to get your PhD. Like, you're going to grad school. You're going to go to those grad school classes and you're getting tested, and the tests are literally about your life. Do you see the common denominator? And are you going to choose to go a different route because of that denominator? Are you willing to put yourself first and do the hardest thing by leaving, by changing your mindset, by putting boundaries, and then being structured, being disciplined on moving forward with the actions that you chose to do? Are you going to learn? Did you learn? It basically helps you incorporate different forms of routines, set realistic goals for yourself, create stability and progress for yourself. It makes you look at yourself If I'm being honest, Saturn's like, hey man, I'm pulling a mirror up to your face and it's time for you to see where your faults are at. And then how can we make those faults into more like happy successes? Let's learn from these things, not keep repeating it and then being surprised that this happened to you again, you know? So if your Saturn is in Capricorn, right? Your Saturn may be in the form of having a more goal-oriented type of schedule or self-care practices that allows you to stay focused and more centered, because you're learning that not only being practical and being smart and implement like system in place, it helps you achieve the things that you haven't had the ability to achieve before. Those are my 7 planets of how you can start to look at your natal chart on self-care practices, because those 7 planets alone will help you start to develop a more stronger suit within your physical, emotional, spiritual, or physical body. So let's go ahead and pull up your natal chart and see how you can start implementing this into your day-to-day routine right now. So let's go ahead and pull up your natal chart right now. Side note, if you don't know, I use sidereal astrology. I talked about this in my North Node broadcast, and I'll make sure to put that episode down below for you if you would like to listen to it. We dive more into astrology and the different types and etc. etc. For me, I like using sidereal astrology. And in sidereal astrology, I am a Libra moon. So as a Libra moon, I would look into incorporating activities during the week that would allow me to put intention towards self, about my beauty, my self-care routine. I'm doing something outside. I'm doing something for my mind. I am incorporating something within this week that's going to help me tend to myself. In regards to you, when you're looking at your natal chart, honestly, take it one step at a time. You don't need to be looking at all 7 planets right now and trying to make your own self-care routine. You're going to make yourself go crazy and do too much, okay? Don't do too much. The best thing that you can do is take one piece at a time and learn it, experience it, feel it, let it marinate within you. Go slow, because this is something new and you want to make sure that you're tapping into your energy and allowing yourself to really feel like everything is going well for you. You want to be able to connect and feel that gratitude and feel that love within yourself, that peace. So in order for that to happen, you got to let other things marinate. So let it marinate. So that all being said, I would love to hear how you guys are going to start incorporating your self-care routine down below, especially if you were pulling up your natal chart as you're watching or listening to this video today. If anything above, I'm just so grateful for you guys to be here. Please make sure, if you haven't already, to subscribe to the community, as well as I just want to say that I love you guys so much. Just to remember that self-care is a self-love journey. It is a self-care journey. This is something that does take time. And you know, time's not real. It does take time. So be gentle with yourself as you're learning to incorporate more of this self-care activities into your life, because the more that you do, the more that you're going to be able to really embrace who you're becoming and feel more radiant and confident and more beautiful on the inside. Until next time, I'll see you guys later and sending you lots of love and light. Bye guys.